Hello YouTube from Lone Star Drift. I'm super excited to share with you some upcoming details about Drift Week 2. First off, if you don't know what Drift Week is, do a YouTube search to see countless hours of all the Drift Week 1 footage. Basically, 14 of us drove our drift cars thousands of miles on the streets and did 8 days of track driving along the way. The driver's list was amazing, everything went better than I could possibly plan. It was really good, despite my bad planning. Drift Week 2, though, is taking it up a notch, with more new tracks, a bigger cast of drivers and cars, and probably more disasters along the way. So let me present to you the current list of drivers for Drift Week 2. In no particular order, we have Hurt from Hoonigan building a brand new GS300 with a 2JZ for this trip. Now that is a new car. I hope he gets it all sorted out because all of the YouTube builds that are new cars can be a lot of work if it's not fully sorted out on a crazy trip like this. We have Adam LZ. He's bringing his JZX 100 back from the first Drift Week. We have Trevor Jameson from Motion Auto TV. He's going to be bringing, I think, a brand new car no one's seen before. Possibly just his S14 with a K series or something swapped in. He's got to do something to keep it interesting on YouTube. Cletus McFarland from his YouTube channel is supposed to drop in with us. We're also going to be driving the Freedom Factory for one portion of the trip, so I'm not sure how many dates he can be there for all of it, but hopefully he'll be there at least for that one. We have Taylor Ray from his YouTube channel. He is going to be bringing out a Safira with a K-Series swap in it, unless he has a problem with that. Fielding Shredder is going to bring out the Hyperdrive S14. Brittany and Kevin from Light Bright Nation are going to be bringing out a Corvette that they got off me recently that they supercharged and have already. Colette Davis is going to be bringing out a 350Z. And then we have a bunch of other drivers that are not YouTube or Instagram celebrities, but are awesome people and I'm super excited to drive with, such as Ian McDougall bringing out a Corvette, Trenton Croft from Y Plate Imports bringing out a JZX 90, Brian Page Howell bringing out his Z3. We have David Mesker bringing out a 450 wheel R32 this time to replace his 350Z. Dan Brockett has a big turbo IS300. Rudy Hansen, who had the Corvette burned down in the first Drift Week, is going to be bringing out a full Pro-Am, like Pro 2 level, WiseFab, everything, S13 with a crazy V8 in it. Brandon Wicknick, he is bringing out a different car, I think. I'm not sure what yet, but I think he's building a whole new car for this. We have Rui from Portugal. I don't know what he's bringing yet, but he's going to be having to get overseas during all the COVID stuff, get in the country, get a car, so he should have a pretty interesting time with that. Mike Jang from Bellino Tires, he's going to bring out an E46 M3. Duarte from Drift HQ is bringing out, I think, an E46 M3 as well. Danny Sophie and Harrison Johnson are driving a Corvette together. They're doubling up in one car. There's some Lone Star Drift drivers. And then we have an interesting thing for this Drift Week. I wanted to do something different, and I created a Spirit team, which is Rudy Martinez with his group of guys. They're going to be in a VR30 DETT G35, so swapping in a newer twin-turbo 3-liter Infinity motor into a G35 and taking a group of 4 Lone Star Drift guys, and they're all going to share the car, which is going to be hilarious. Corey Misko in an E46, I think non-M. Ben Savage in a supercharged Corvette. Clayton Kyle in a Z4. Jason Neer in a E46 M3. Danny Puckett in a 335i BMW. Dakota Bowman in the rotary RX-7 FC. Now that's going to be really interesting to see because I originally banned rotaries and SR20s from the first Drift Week because I thought no one would finish this thing as is and that would just complicate our lives. But to take it to the next level, we are tossing in a rotary. So it's going to be really fun to see if he can do it. Jason Stacy in a JZS13. Seth Waldron in a E36. Dustin Harsh in a Corvette pickup truck. You're going to have to see that to know what it is, but it is a Corvette chassis, I think a C5, and it has an old school like 1950s pickup truck, maybe even earlier than that, put on top of the Corvette chassis. Kind of hard to explain, but when you see it, you'll be like, oh, that's exactly what it was. Luis Lanz in a Z06, a C6 Z06. Juan Barraras in a Corolla. That's going to be crazy to see someone in a K-Series swapped Corolla making it across the country. And Wout Young in a E46 M3. Then there's a lot of E46 M3s, way more than I would think. And then we have Jeff Stonebeck as an alternative in his S15. So that's our list of current drivers. I might end up losing one or two or adding a couple, just because that's the nature of a trip like this, especially in such a weird, turbulent year. This trip will be going on in November. And let me tell you about the public days, because I'm super excited. The first one was all private days because I didn't know if we would make it anywhere and how hard the trip would be. I didn't really know what was going on. But we're going to have public days this time, so let's get to that. Man, I wrote a script. I should use it. Just a second. All right, here we go. Since Drift Week 1 was so much fun, I wanted to include the fans this time at 2 different locations. We're doing 8 days of drifting, but 2 of these locations are going to be public this time because I think it's really important to create an experience for both the drivers and the fans, not just online. The first Drift Week, we did it all online because I didn't know where we would be at what time. I was afraid the whole thing would fall apart. I had no idea if we'd make it to the end, and I didn't want fans coming out and watching 3 of us that were left trying to finish this thing as a disaster. So the first public location is going to be Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston, Texas on November 9th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I want to create a special experience for everyone. So there's going to be a driver challenge at that location, and the challenge is to document making a fan happy. So each driver is going to be competing to try and create the best experience for a fan and to document it and share it. And I just thought that'd be a really fun, goofy experience for everybody. Several of our drivers will be doing paid ride-alongs in their drift cars so that all the fans can get on track if they'd like to. They will be asking a charge. I'm not sure how much it'll be. You'll know at the event. Just bring a little bit of cash to bribe them to get in the cars, and that's going to go towards gas money to help them get to the next venue. So we super appreciate that. Now, the second public track date will be at Nola Motorsports, and that's in Louisiana on November 11th from 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. The challenge of the day is going to be an endurance drift battle to see how long a drift car can stay on track. They have this amazing kart track, and it has such good asphalt, and the time of year is going to be cool, and everything is going to come together so that just like an end-of-year bash, when we were there last time, you can stay on track for an entire tank of gas if everything goes well. So that could be 35 to 50 minutes. So each of the cars will be coming off track as they either break or need fuel or tires or overheating too much. We're going to see who has the longest lasting, best sorted drift car that is just perfect for Drift Week. And of course, we'll also be doing ride-alongs for the spectators at that venue. So bring some spare cash, get inside the drift cars, have a fantastic time. You can experience some of the cars like Fielding Shredders or Light Bright Nation's Corvette. Being inside the actual car from Hyperdrive is just really cool. You see it on a Netflix TV show, then you can get in the car, drive on track. That's a really cool experience. There's gonna be a bunch of the other guys doing that, bunch of Corvettes and other cars. All right, and then, let's see here. Oh, we have sponsors. So the sponsors for this Drift Week are BC Racing Coilovers, who are the greatest coilover company, the most supportive coilover company. They're just awesome, and they've been supporting both grassroots and professional drifting for so long. We love them. We love their product. We love the support they give everybody. There would not be a Drift Week without BC Racing Coilovers. I just want to make that super clear. So next time you need a pair of not a pair, you need 4 of those things. Next time you need a bunch of coilovers for your car, make sure to hit up BC Racing Coilovers. Next up for sponsors is Y-Plate Imports in Portland. They specialize in selling the cleanest and most legal, awesome Toyota JZXs on the planet. Well, maybe not on the planet, maybe in Portland. But if you need a car from them, any type of Japanese imported car, they have stock in both Japan and the United States. Go hit up their website to see what they have, both in those locations. Go get yourself a rad Japanese import before they are so expensive none of us can afford them because the prices are shooting up. So if you want an R32 or you want an R33 or a JZX, this might be your last chance to get one this year because they keep going up in price. So make sure you hit them up. And last but not least is Ecu Master USA, our favorite ECU company, who also supports the most drifters with awesome products than any other ECU company that I can think of. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. They support Adam LZ and Formula D. They support lots of Pro-Am guys all over the country, a bunch of other Formula D guys. They have tons of great products. They make way more than just ECUs, so go check them out on their website as well. We love them. Just so happens the owner of that company also lives in Texas and drives with us all the time. Super rad guy, super big car enthusiast. He has a bunch of JZ cars that are huge horsepower, Vipers, and all kinds of crazy stuff. Rad dude. So make sure to go check out their products. And that's that. You can follow the whole trip online through all the different YouTuber and Instagrammers. And I don't think we have a TikTok star yet. I don't even know if TikTok's legal anymore. Go follow all of our guys online, and you can view the entire trip through all of these different portals. You can also find on the Lone Star Drift channel. I will be probably releasing a lot more interviews this time, so that's always good. Interviews are easier to make and a lot of fun to watch. And the rest of the locations are secret. Please don't try and find us. People did it the last Drift Week, and we can't let you in. We're not available for spectators with those locations with the way we get the tracks, so please don't show up. We are doing 2 public tracks, and then there's plenty of content online, so please enjoy Drift Week. This is such like a passion project of mine. You can't imagine how much planning, logistics, friendships, tracks, YouTube channels. There's so much stuff going on. Conversations, favors, planning, just it's so much. So thank you so much for watching it and making the first Drift Week such a success. Drift Week 2 is going to be super exciting for all of us. I cannot wait to do this trip. It's going to be really big. Thank you so much. I love all you guys. Thank you for letting me do this cool stuff. If it wasn't for YouTube and it wasn't for all these great sponsors and the fans and the drivers, we would not get to do such cool projects like this. I wish I had these ideas 12 years ago and we executed them, but because I've been hosting events since 2004 or 3, and this is just how drifting keeps evolving and the things I keep doing. I wish I had these ideas a long time ago and we would be farther along in what we're doing in drifting, but this is where we are. I love it. Thank you and goodbye. Bam.